What's going on, people? This is a strange event. I'm in the mood, so I'm gonna do this because I saw something, and for some reason, I feel compelled to address it. Let's see. I got this in my message. You can't see it, but I'm gonna start off. Name is Holly. Thank you for telling the truth. I love it when you said that these people have been working on the net for like 10 to 15 years and did not just become instant success. It's really deceptive out there when it comes to making money online. Your method is not popular, but it is the truth, and people need to hear the hard truth, not the crap people are posting about how to make a billion in 30 days. That's such a load of crap. Now, this is the part that I'm addressing. I'm actually trying to get my business up and running, and I'm a writer. What sites would you suggest I sell my ebooks on? Okay, I'm going to take this question by question. This is why I titled this Making a Living as a Writer in 2015 and Beyond. One of the things that happens with third party platforms is they all behave the same at some point. And it's going to get to the point where you're going to need to have a serious grip to get traction on any site. I know that people who are SEO experts, people who are Facebook experts, people who are Twitter experts will probably disagree with me, but I see us heading to that. I see us heading there. I just see it. Especially Facebook is moving really rapidly on that. So what is the best place to sell your ebooks on? Your website, your blog, your account, your Tumblr page, your Instagram, wherever you are and you can collect an audience, that's where you need to sell your work on. Now, one of the things that I believe in, and it's a little odd, and not many people are doing it because Amazon's the place to be, Barnes and Nobles is the place to be. But this is my thought. I rather suffer some short term pain and do this now than to suffer massive pain later. Because when you become dependent on a third party website as your source of income, that can be very scary. This is very scary. No one seems to agree with me, but I feel that once Amazon totally corners the market, that 70, whatever it is, I don't even know what it is. I've got books that sold on Amazon and CreateSpace, and I don't even look at my payment reports because there's really not that many books anymore because I don't advertise those books and I don't push traffic there. So learn how to sell your stuff to people you know. Now, this is something that no one else tell you. You can post on Facebook and you can tweet all day, but if you go to a local coffee shop and start offering cooking lessons or form a meetup group about how to create these recipes, you will sell more books that way than you will just randomly posting online. Expect, especially with your subject matter, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Expect 2 to 5 years for this thing to really roll. And that's where you are. Now she goes on, I do not want to go through Amazon. I understand that. Amazon, I'm on Amazon, but it's value added for me. It's not my main deal. I have a recipe book, but I need to get it on other sites. But all the sites I go on want a monthly fee. Do not pay a monthly fee to put your book anywhere unless you get a contract that says you sales. Don't do it. Should I invest in a blog? Yes. Or should I invest in the YouTube channel? I don't know for recipes. Unless the food that you make has such wonderful presentation, I don't know if a YouTube channel is the place for recipes unless you're going to have some kind of cooking talk show, lifestyle show. You would probably go better if your food was beautific, Pinterest, and Instagram. So let's see. I'll skip over this. I've been a writer for about 6 years. I have a lot of material I want to put out there. The book I want to put out is a recipe book. It's gotten tons of views, but I'm having a hard time making sales. Number one reason you're having a hard time making sales is you're trying to sell something that people can get for free in so many places. You may have to rework your book and put something very creative, very unique in there to get sales. Um, the recipe book in bookstores, hardcover, that's great. But online, if you are not well known, and this is the thing, and now don't be insulted. Snooki could come up with a recipe book and get a book deal and sell more books than you in the month that you probably sell in a lifetime because she has the next part of the thing. You need a let's see. got reviews. It's an excellent recipe book. I'm quite sure it is. But my people want my books on Kindle. Okay, your people are saying they want their books on Kindle. Put your book on Kindle. It's not that hard. Get a copy of Scrivener. It's like $50. It can help you format. There's all kinds of help on how to help it. You can actually upload your book if it's already proof edited and everything in pretty much a matter of hours. So you've got it in a PDF format that's easy to copy and paste. Here's some other stuff. One girl said she didn't like that I used my name and company logo. I don't know what's that about. Now I'm going to say her name because she sent me this. It's Holly Vanderhoek, and the name of her company is New Cove. People, I guess, do not trust it. You might be correct because when no one knows who you are, it's risky. I've noticed that when I had to switch to the Udemy platform, a lot more people feel more comfortable over there in Hustle University, except for the diehard people who are getting the good information. I've done videos and I've told people who I am, and I even had another YouTube channel for years, so I just don't understand. YouTube has changed. I feel fortunate that I got in when I did, because if I was starting today with a brand new YouTube channel, trying to do just regular posting videos and commenting on other people's videos, it doesn't work anymore. Because I created a new channel and I use new methods, and it's almost to 100,000 views in less than 3 months. My first channel, this one, didn't get 100,000 views for damn near 2 years. So, I mean, yeah, it's a whole different ball game. And sorry for the long message. Any advice would be great. Okay. Typically, Holly, this is the problem. You see yourself as an artist. I see a lot of things in here that you want to help people. You're probably trying to make people healthy, and that's beautiful. But here's the truth. People don't give a shit. You do a book, I don't care if that book walks in the house and rubs their feet at night, because it's a book, they expect to pay a certain price for it. And that's an ebook that's going to be between $1.99 and maybe $10, with the $10 being kind of sketchy and hard to get. So you've got to figure out a way to create a package. And this is what's going to happen, because I write all kinds of stuff. I write the business stuff, the nonfiction, the fiction, poetry. And I've had people say, well, I write fiction. You write the business books, and therefore you can kind of create these products and stuff. Now, all right, I've got a fiction book that I'm working on, and I am creating a product to accompany that book. See, this is the thing, all right, and I'm about to prove it to you, because people's like, well, you write fiction. Okay, have you heard of Spider-Man? We all heard of Spider-Man. That's fiction, right? It's fantasy fiction, right? Now, how many Spider-Man costumes have you seen? How many Spider-Man figurines have you seen? So these are products that came from a fictional book. Open your minds. And this is what gets me with a lot of writers. As creative as they are with the word, and once they get outside that book realm, it's like dumb as a bag of heavy rocks. Just like, I can't do nothing. There's a lot of people who have a following, they have a brand, and they can create products to accompany these books and probably make more money from the products than they do from the actual book. So as a writer, there's several things that you're going to have to do going forward. You just can't write a good book. That's just the price of admission. Everybody's writing good books. Some people are writing amazing books with wonderful covers, great storylines. Now you run into another problem. Everyone has many options: YouTube, Netflix, HBO. So what are you going to do? You are competing for their leisure time with all of these passive measures. Reading is an active pursuit. You can't just sit down and okay, read to me book. Well, actually some books will read to you, but you have to think about it. And then it takes time. I think unless you're a fast reader, say the book's 3-4, that's probably 10, maybe 12 hours reading time. For a person with a limited amount of time, that's a huge commitment. Fuck the price of the book. I got to read that. I got to spend 12. That's huge. It's huge. So you got to really look at that. This is what I'm doing, and this is where I think it's going. If you've got a big ass book, break it up into 3 or 4 books so people can read it and feel like they've accomplished something and pull them along to the next book. Some people hate that. It's just like, hey, just write a big book. And I was a member of a book club for like 15 years. So with that, it was die-hard book covers. I mean, I used to live in Barnes and Nobles, and like the big hard covers, there's 25 bucks and all this other stuff. And I was a die-hard book person. The smell, the texture of the pages, and all this other stuff. And I read physical books because I've got 3 on my nightstand, but I'm also in the process of listening to an audiobook, and I'm also reading an ebook. So I'm consuming my reading from all of these methodologies, these forms of media, and I'm not the only one. So you're going to have to become a writer, an entertainer, a presenter. You're just going to have to make your shit snazzy. It's going to have some level of presentation. It's going to have some level. Now, there's always going to be someone who's going to write a book and they're going to be as dry as a bone in the desert when they do their book reading, but the book's just going to be so massive, it's going to be so wonderful, and they're going to make millions of dollars. Okay, stop thinking of the exception as the fucking rule. There's a reason. And also, with physical books, there's only so much shelf space. If that book does not move quick enough on that shelf, they're going to move it out and remander it. And those for you who really love books know that means they destroy books. It used to break my heart. So going forward, you're not just a writer, you're a content creator. And with that, there's so many things that you're going to do, because in 2015 you're going to see a lot of different stuff that's coming from me, because I've been working on it this whole freaking year. It's just like, okay, what direction are we going to Hustlers University? How do we want to do this? I've got books that I love to write, the projects we want to work on, and I know potentially they're not going to make me a damn dime, but they're fun to write. So I split my time. This is the stuff to make money, and this is the fun stuff that fulfills my soul. So I can have the best of both worlds. You, as a writer, if you can write a 300, 400, 500 page fucking book, you can do copy, you can do blogs. And there's many people who was like, well, I'm a novelist and that's all I do. And okay, good luck with that. Malcolm Gladwell actually gets paid for op-eds. Think about that, and he's got $1 million advances. So the smarter writers do more than just their one thing. And the really smart writers probably have 3, 4, 5, 6 freaking pen names, and many of them are smart enough not to tell anybody, because when it gets out, people attack your work if they don't like you. If they love you, you don't have that problem. But if they don't like you, they're coming at you. So another thing is, you're going to have to write a lot. Not when, hold on. Is that, the muse is tickling my nose. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, I can write now. You're not going to make any money if you only write when you feel inclined. When I wrote Pimp and Craigslist, I forced myself to write that shit, because I'll tell you the story. I had no intention of writing that book. Someone bought the storage auction book and sent me a challenging email. It's like, okay, I've got Pimp and Craigslist, and I've got the storage auction books. I need more. What else you got? So Pimp and Craigslist, the garage sale book, and other books. I had no intention of writing those. I responded to marketplace demand, and Pimp and Craigslist has sold consistently for years. I don't even mention this shit. People just find it. So a book that I wasn't going to write, but I listened to the marketplace, is actually still selling. And that's one of the reasons that, hustling Craigslist and these other things I'm putting together, because Craigslist is wonderful. It's an amazing place. There's a lot of good stuff that comes from Craigslist. So, Holly, if you're still listening, you have got to work hard and really push yourself. Now, this is another thing. If you're going to make a living as a writer, you're going to have to make a commitment to writing. I'm not saying you have to write every day or even every month, but when you're working on projects, the rest of the world's got to fucking disappear. And you got to get it done, because it's a different animal. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a different kind of mindset. And also, going back to my original point of selling outside of Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, if you can somehow manage to make $1,000 or $2,000 in a year selling your books, because I'm assuming you have a job, that's a win. Because this is a long-term game, because this is something that's about to happen. All of this thing with international boundaries and foreign, all that shit's about to go to the wayside. Somebody's going to create an app, and you're going to be able to, hold on, you're going to be able to use your phone, read any book in any damn language, and understand it perfectly. When that happens, whatever, it's gone. It's gone. Just forget it. It's over. So anyone, anywhere, in any language is going to be able to read your book. And what's happening is more and more people are becoming wired every freaking day. So it's not going to matter. It's like if your book's good, and then as a writer, and this is what I say, and people think I'm crazy. I think there's going to be billionaire writers because they're going to write like some snazzy book or maybe some pulp fiction or something, and it's going to get real trendy, and it's just going to literally go around the world and sell 1 billion copies. And that writer's going to get $1 or $2 from every book sold. Or if they're like me and they built their whole thing, they're going to get like 90% of each sale, and they're going to be crazy rich. Crazy rich. It's coming. I'm expecting the next 10 years. That's what I'm counting on. So you've got to treat your writing as a business. Your book is a product. I know you love it. It's your child, and you and the characters wept together and y'all loved together. Maybe if you worked on the book for a few years, you had a child or you got married, and there's all of these milestones that's intermixed in with that book. Beautiful, wonderful. But if that sucker is a dud or a turkey, you spent 2 years on something that you love and a few of your friends love, that will not make you any damn money. So also, you got to learn how to write more than 1 book a year. Minimum 2, maybe getting up to 4, which is doable. And I'm not talking about small books either. Because if you write 2,000 words a day for 3 months, you do the math. That's a big ass book. So also, there's a big debate, plotters and pantsers. Plotters are people like me. When I sit down to write a book, I outline the hell out that bitch. I do not go down rabbit holes anymore. And other people's like, hey, what works for you? I know your chances as a pantser of you writing the book and not finish it are very fucking high. Because it's a wonderful experiment. Hey, I'm not saying don't do it, but if you're looking to make money, outline your damn books. Forget all this pantsing stuff. Because, all right, when you start your book, say, hey, I want to finish this book, within 6 months. Put a time limit there. Put a deadline there. None of this when it's done, because when you put bread in the oven, like when it's done out. No, if you don't get it at a certain time, that you may have an excellent book that if you put it out at a certain time, it's going to make you crazy money. My storage auction book, if I wrote that book, same book today with the same information, I would make absolutely no damn money. Book would be just as good, the information, but the timelines. So timing can be everything. It wasn't Bill Gates' brilliance. It wasn't Steve Jobs' brilliance. They were brilliant, but timing more than anything is the reason they became billionaires. Timing, because it was like they were they were the spearhead of the digital, computer revolution. They were the tip. They were the tip of the spear. You can't get that type of position all the time. That is incredible. Same thing with the woman that wrote up 50 Shades of Grey. She caught that apex where it's like, hey, I'm reading some kinky shit and nobody sees this cover. Ooh, he whooped her ass. This is one of the reasons that book did so well, because people could indulge in their darkest fantasies, their guilty pleasures, and nobody knew what the hell they were reading. And then when it became trendy, then folks were buying the paper and like, yeah, I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey. Oh yeah, have you read it? Did you see what? And it became trendy and it became more acceptable. I want you to really think about this. This book is about a man who is doing some very domineering things to a woman, and women loved it. So it created a strange conversation because I can't remember her name. She's a very famous writer, and she was very much against 50 Shades of Grey. She came out and she said, I don't understand what's going on with these women. This is abusive. So this book and the timing created a new trend. Now, what I think is going to happen, and I could be wrong, I'm betting my money, my time, my effort, my products, is it's going to be at some point where someone gets your book, they're going to get your book, they're going to get the ebook, and they're going to get the audio book, and for one purchase price. I just see that coming. That way, if they're like reading the book and then they get to go somewhere, like go drive, then they put in the audio section, and this is coming. It's like, okay, like Netflix. Like if I'm watching Netflix on my phone, when I get home, I turn on my television, I left off pops up. This is what's going to happen with these books. So you could be reading your book and then you got to go to work, then you can listen to your book. This is what the future is. This is what's coming. It's about ease of delivery and convenience for the consumer. And those who make it easier for the consumer to consume their content, which is one of the reasons I went crazy with video, which is one of the reasons I went crazy with audio, because someone can take one of my courses on their way to work. Just listen in the car. Cars now have Wi-Fi, so, and that's going to be the norm in the future. All cars are going to have Wi-Fi. And, when you get the driverless car, you can then read your book because you don't have to drive. So all of this stuff is coming. And if you're a writer, I would say sit down and write out a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal, a 15-year goal, a 20-year goal for your writing. That's going to force you to kind of clarify some shit. Or what kind of writer am I going to be? Because the thing is, I'm comfortable with writing a lot of stuff, and I'm not afraid to look foolish, as you've noticed if you watch the channel. I don't give a fuck. If I write some, people laugh and point, go, that was fucked up, so be it. I've done it, I know what it is, and I learned from it. So I'm going to try a lot of shit next year. You think I tried a lot of stuff. Hey, the experiences make me richer. That's how I look at it. So if you're trying to be a writer, and understand, there's a lot of resources. I don't hang out on the Kindle boards. I don't hang out on the Amazon boards. And one of the reasons I don't do it is very much reminiscent of the eBay Power Seller board. You go there, bunch of bitching. Sometimes good, and I can't say, like I said, I don't hang out on the Kindle boards. I don't hang out on the Amazon boards. So I really don't know what's going on over there. My whole thing is build the tribe. Build my tribe. Because, my magic number is like 20,000 people. And I got a long way to go. But when I get to 20,000 people, I'm 8 figures. Based on my math. I got 20,000 customers, I'm 8 figures. So instead of making Amazon richer, I will take the lumps. And it's kind of like compound interest. I want you to think about it. Because I'm starting this now. As time goes on, it's going to compound. And it's just like, and when it gets toward the end, that math, you've seen it. It's just like, what the hell? Same thing. So my energy, my time, my effort is going into tribe building, building email lists. I had someone was just like, beware of getting the ebook because you got to put your credit card number, and it ain't free. I mean, he was just going on and on and on and on and on and on. And I was like, dude, you don't want it? Fine. Get the fuck on. But the thing is that these people who are what I call internet police or Mr. Good Neighbor or the security guard or the hall monitor, they really are looking for attention because their lives are fucking miserable. Because these same people don't do this type of behavior in their town and their homes where they can actually help people. No, it's real easy to be, I'm looking out for the people on the internet. I'm the internet police. See my badge? And I'm just like, okay, you don't like it. And I explained it, sent the dude the video, and he was still like, I'm so lonely. And I'm just like, okay. I just left it alone. And then he started being insulting, and I deleted this shit. So understand, it is a business. You will have people who are going to hate you. You're going to have people who will be envious of you because just from me to you, if it's in your heart, you want to write a book, and you write one book in your lifetime, you are a success. Because there are many people who want to do it, who will never, ever do it. They'll write one chapter and they will do shit else with it. They'll write maybe half a book and abandon it. And it's like, well, life got in the way, or I got married, or I had bullshit. It wasn't worth it to you. There's a couple, and they were on TV. They were both teachers and they both were struggling, and they have like 5 or 6 kids, and they put out 12 books in one damn year with 5 kids. It's what's important to you. It's what's important to you, what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. So that's the thing. So if you want to be a writer or a content I call myself a content creator because I do so much. It's just more than the videos. It's the podcast, the audios, all kinds of stuff. You got to have a business plan. And when next year when I do my publishing course, because I think I mislabeled it because it's more about publishing because there's so many resources. There's a guy, and you can Google it. His name is Stephen Barnes. He has a free writing course on his blog. The guy's got written several books, screenwriting. It's free. Just go to Stephen Barnes, just Google it, and go to this website, and you'll see the free writing. Just take it. There's another guy, Dean Wesley Smith. He helped me out a lot. I reached out to him. There's a ton of how to write this, how to write that. So it's really a matter of you wrapping your arms around it and making it happen. That is, if you really want to do this shit. Because that's another thing. Writing is fucking hard. And marketing is 10 to 15 times harder than writing. You will be insulted. Hack, people will say bad things like, well, if your work was just so good enough, it would just sell itself and it will go by word of fucking mouth. Coca-Cola doesn't go by word of fucking mouth and they're an international brand. Apple doesn't go by word of mouth and they're an international brand. GMC doesn't go by word of mouth, they're an international brand. BMW, IBM. There's a reason that these companies spend so much money marketing. It's like that friend you have, right? His name is Bill or her name is Jill and you haven't seen him in 5 years. The longer you go without seeing them, the quicker you forget they exist. Because then that's when these moments happen. Jill! Bill! Because all of the memories come around that. But for the most time, you fucking forgot they existed. So you have to constantly market. It's part of the game. It's part of what you have to do. If you don't want to do it, you're going to have to hire someone to do it for you because it's mandatory. Some people are like, I just feel like a trained sealed up there just doing this stuff. I just want to write. I just want to create the characters. Okay, that's cool. Get yourself a partner. Get yourself a real business partner who's going to handle all that other stuff because very few people go from just writing so well that everyone helps them and they become rich. Most of the people that I studied that did well wrote their asses off, wrote under several pen names, had at least 5 to 20 books. There are some one-hit wonders out there, just like people like, Baby Guy, Sir Mix-a-Lot saying he made like $100 million off that. He owns the song. Hey, he's living nice. He's living nice. So, and that's another thing. And this is me. I actually didn't even own my work anymore. I actually gave it to my daughter. So I'm trying to build a legacy for the family and essentially, just depending upon your mindset, if you want to build something, you got to start kind of like thinking way ahead of the here and now. And this is a lesson I got from Curtis Mayfield when I was in the hospital, working in the hospital field. I had the pleasure, and he schooled me. He told me, never sell your work. Lease it out. He was very much the gentleman. Out. Never sell your work. He said that several times. He's like, because I told him, I write a little poetry stuff. He's like, you're a creative person. Never sell your work. Lease it out. Businesses own it, but always make sure that your estate owns your work. Because he started to tell me of all these people who wrote one hit song and their grandkids were going to college off that money because they maintain ownership. And everyone's like looking for the quick buck or that quick lick or something like that. I am patient enough and I'm confident enough in what I'm doing that I'll get where I want to get as the years come by. So, you got to have a plan. What kind of writer do you want to be? You got to figure that shit out. I mean, it's, because I started off with poetry. I got one poetry book on Amazon. Didn't do nothing. I actually had some very good friends who bought my books. So they made me feel good. My other stuff, I run under a pen name, and I'm going to talk about this. And this is just me, because, there's a huge debate, like, tell people your pen name. I'm like, whatever. I have a problem starting over. For me to you, have some of your writing that is you. That you don't, that you just do for the fucking love of it. It's just your shit, whether it sells or not. You don't give a damn. Keep that. Keep that. That's like a form of innocence that you'll be able to maintain forever and ever. And sometimes when I have crazy days or people doing shit, and I go back and I look at it, it's like, yeah, yeah. It's like coming home. I've got my bat cave. That's my bat cave. That's the lab. That's where I do my stuff. And it's mine. I can do what I want. It makes me feel good. I own it, and no one can intrude. There's only 2 people who even know about that shit. 2. And I actually met them this year. And I feel that they were cool enough to share that with. Because one is extremely loyal and the other one's getting there. So keep some shit for yourself. If you know Prince has been putting out music for years. I think he wrote all that shit when he was on drugs in the 70s. And he just kept it in the vault and was like, release this, release this, release this, release this. And I think that was very wise, because sometimes you get into a moment where you just putting out like crazy content. You don't have to put it all out at once. Just look at the marketplace. So there's essentially what I'm saying is, you've got to think of yourself as a business. You have to have a business plan, a business process, and know what your end goal is. When, I'm taking that dirt nap, I want people like, damn, Glenn, the motherfucker, 10 years after I'm gone, 20 years after I'm gone, 30. I want to put some shit out that, like fucking Star Wars. When George Lucas dies, people gonna know who the fuck George Lucas was in 50 years. Oh, the Star Wars dude. I want some shit like that. That's better than money. Because you, at that point, you become immortal. So that's one of the reasons I write other stuff. And that's one of the reasons I keep y'all out my business. I keep y'all out my business because I know how some of y'all are. And just really, really enjoy yourself. Someone asked me, because I actually could do, it wasn't really a job offer. It was an equity type deal. And I turned it down because it would have been miserable. Because I actually said, look, let's do this. I'll come hang out with y'all and just see what it's like. And I hung out with him for 2 weeks. And it was just like, it was like, I felt like a runaway slave that got caught. And they didn't whip me. But, all of a sudden I was walking, and then there was this cotton smock on me. And then I was walking down the hall and I had to slow down because for some reason my leg got heavy and there was this coldness going around my ankle. And I was like, damn, there's a shackle. Then the next day there was a link. Then the next day there was another link and another link. And then one day there was a fucking ball there. I was like, when did this shit happen? And I just felt like I was regressing in life. And I was just like, I can't do this. And I know people are like, that's crazy and everything. For me, freedom is the biggest currency. That's the greatest form of wealth. To own yourself, to be yourself, and do what the fuck you want to do most of the days of your life. To me, that's the best. I mean, people are like, hey, get that money? Fuck that. I mean, I really enjoy being me. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I had a friend the other day. It's like, you're one of the few people I know that really love what you do. It's like, I didn't know that. This was a choice. And it didn't come easy. I went through a lot of shit just to get to this leg of the journey. Because that's something else. I don't think you ever arrive until you die. There's no such thing like I've arrived, I hit it. No. If you really like what you're doing, once you're dead and then their work stands up on its own, then it's like, okay, then you arrived. That's how I look at it. Some people may be different. But with the writing thing, you have to understand it's a very long-term thing. I feel, once again, like I just said with Bill Gates, my timing was impeccable. I wrote a book about something that was going to become a national trend 14 months before it happened. I couldn't plan for that shit. I didn't know those shows were coming on. I had no clue. I just knew that people came to storage auctions and they had a very hard time because they really didn't know what they were doing and no one was educating them. So I had esoteric or secret knowledge and I capitalized on it. But I didn't know those shows were coming on. I mean, really, it was just like the perfect fucking storm. Because many people knew of me and it was like Glendon Cameron was first. The Urban Packard was first. There was like none of this. There was like, well, he's just, later on people's like, well, yeah, he's just copying the shows. But all the folks who have been around since 2009, they knew the truth. And I would see my people fighting folks like, no, Glendon did this in 2009. Those shows, he was doing this shit before the shows came on. And people were like, no, he wasn't. He copied them. And they're like, you're a fucking fool. And I was like, my people, I just wanted to give them a cyber hug. I was just like, come up in here. Or, cyber fist pound, like, boom. And I've seen this for years. You know, I got some really cool people in the tribe. Really, really cool people. Just amazing people. And that's another perk of doing this and building your tribe. My tribe isn't huge, but my tribe is fucking loyal. That's priceless. My tribe is fucking loyal. I got people who bought every fucking thing I put out. I mean, it's an incredible feeling. So when you look at building a life and doing this stuff, you got to actually look past money. You got to look, to the other forms of currency: freedom, health, mental clarity, peace of mind, being able to sleep at night. You have to look at that stuff. And when I had that opportunity, and I just felt, like I said, I mean, one day I thought I was just going to like, oh, it's boss. Oh, it's boss. Boss walking. I mean, I just felt damn near sick. I mean, it was just, I just, and nice people there. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then once again, I'm not comparing myself to the brilliance of Dave Chappelle. I can think the dude's brilliant, but I have a deeper understanding of why he did the shit he did. Because everyone's like, it's $50 million. What is $50 million if your soul is dying every day? I know, that's for people who have absolutely no money. They think I'm fucking crazy, but that's how I feel. So all of this stuff is just kind of what you should think about, in my opinion, if you want to be a writer going forward. Now, there's so many ways to make money, because if you become really proficient at copy, crazy money with that. And if you're really good as a writer, start your own shit and partner with people, because as long as you're riding other dicks, it's easy to get fucked. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. And sometimes, it's better to be on the driving end of the dick than the receiving end of the dick, depending upon your proclivities. So with that, you've got to really, really, because I get this like, hey, I want to be a writer, where I want to, and that's why when I saw Holly's thing, because I just found this tonight, and I was like, let me just answer this, because it's not quick, and it's hard, and it's long, and it's crazy, because the minute that you get like that much success, just I'm not even talking about like a full finger. I'm talking about like maybe just a nail. You got people hating your ass. I used to say I did not have haters. I used to say I had people who dislike me. This year, I found out that I have authentic, real life fucking haters. I mean, crazy shit. Crazy stuff that just blindsided me. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. I don't even fuck with you. I'm living my life. What the hell is wrong with you? Hate is a powerful fucking drug. It will make people lose their minds. It will make people want to fucking kill you. So it's my daughter actually was worried about me because of one of the haters who's a family member, and she's like, y'all don't need to be in the same room. It's like, why? Because I think he'd do something, because he's just that fucking crazy. This, she saw the shit. She saw the shit go down. I'm just like, I ain't do shit to him. And my cousin was saying the same thing. She's like, I don't understand what's wrong with him. I don't believe this. I mean, just madness I'm not going to go into. But when you get, or you get a little section of the matrix, because I don't feel like I'm 100% free. I feel like I have a little section where I can just do whatever the fuck I want. And the other people in the matrix are like, motherfucker, I should have had that corner. What makes you so special to have your own fucking corner? So what if you built it? So what if you blood, sweat, tears? Fuck that. I should have that, because we're equal and shit. That's what my mama told me, and my dad told me that same thing, and my folks don't lie. So obviously you did something wrong or shady or crooked, because I'm better than you, and there really should be no way that you could be doing better than me, because you are not as smart as I am, and therefore there must be some shadiness or some jankiness or some collusion or something, because this shit don't add up in my mind. Understand, my mind is only as big as a pecan, but it's powerful. Smash. So prepare for that. And I've had people I tried to coach to do stuff, and they were so afraid of the backlash and the hate that they didn't put their shit out. They didn't want to deal with it. I think that's sad. I think it's actually pretty weak, but it's their choice. And I keep fucking with them. I'm like, put that shit out. It's good. Put that shit out. You never know unless you put it out. But that's another thing. Another piece of advice: when you do something, immediately start on another project. I don't care. I mean, the pages are still fucking warm. You start another project because your mind from just going crazy. I would say, but I think being a writer, content creator is an awesome thing to be able to do. If you can just, like I said, get one fucking book out of you in your lifetime, you did something amazing. You did something noteworthy. I was having one of my meetings, and there's a lady by the name of Carol, and she knows the guy that wrote the book Pete the Cat. I didn't even know about Pete the Cat, and there's this book, and all these kids love Pete the Cat. Supposedly this guy's here, he lives in Decatur. I was just amazed. This book, this little book about, and the guy was a teacher, and the parents love the book, and the kids love the book, and it's just this simple thing has given this guy a legacy. Like Dr. fucking Seuss, a legacy. That's exciting. That's fun. And that's what you can do. So while you're going through your journeyman stage of writing, enjoy it. That's why I said write some shit that you really love and write some stuff for money. Do both. You don't have to just do one other. I was like, I can only write for no, you can do both. Like I said, I wrote a book. Took me about 3 months. Put it on Amazon. It didn't do nothing. But I enjoy writing it. It did nothing. I don't know if I'm going to change the cover stuff because it's got like 4 3-star reviews. So pretty much I fucked up in there somewhere. And this is another thing. I can go back and fix that shit 5-6 years from now because it's a lot easier to remodel it around, and maybe it'll be a winner. I don't know, because right now I'm about putting out content, building the inventory, just doing it because you never know what's gonna stick. Like I said, I thought my business credit book was gonna be the money maker. I didn't know it was gonna be that storage auction thing. I had no clue, none. But I took a chance and take risk. Be courageous with your writing. If you're pissing people off, you're making people upset, if you're moving people, if you make people cry, if you make people laugh, you've done your fucking job as a writer. Because if you put down some shit that provoked an emotion, you did some shit. If you write something and people are like, oh, that's so nice. Or, like in the South when they said, oh, bless their little heart. That's an insult if you don't know. Oh, bless his little heart. That's a fucking insult. So if someone say that shit to you, they're fucking insulting you. But if you're like, oh, bless his little book, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. You want to piss people off. You want to rage. You want to have passion come out. And apparently, whether you like me or you don't like me, there's one thing that we can all agree on. I make people passionate one way or the other. Either they fucking love me or they fucking hate me, but they are moved. I move fucking people. This shit's funny because I have seen my name thrown around the internet and conversation. I'm like, really? How did I get over here? So apparently I am poking the right buttons, and I'm gonna keep poking these motherfucking buttons. And also, to you people who are sending me scripture in the mail, I'm not reading that shit. I grew up in the South. Had to go to Bible study and all that stuff. I'm not reading that. I'm not even getting into it. And I will say this. I used to be married to someone that tried to convert me, and she was work. So be advised, you're wasting your time. And it's just, it's crazy. And I'm about to say something, and I'm going to offend a lot of people. So if you get ready to unsubscribe, go ahead. I don't believe in religion. I believe in God, but I don't believe in religion. From where I stand, I've seen a lot of harm, a lot of hate, a lot of meanness. I have seen kindness, and I've seen compassion. Because there's like 2 religious groups. There's some people who are super nice, who walk their walk, who believe in the faith, and they say and act in accordance with their faith. Now, this is where to me, they motherfucking rare. Because most of them are, well, I can't say most, that's wrong. a good many of them are fucking mean and narrow-minded and just fucking evil. How can you have the light of God in you and be doing all kind of debauchery? I don't get that. I just don't. Just don't. There are people who are gunning for me who claim to be religious, and they're some of the evilest, most vile creatures lurking in the underbelly of the earth. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. So, yeah, like I said, I got real haters. I got real fucking haters. I mean, hey, I can actually say it. Yes, I'm Glendon Cameron, and yes, I have haters. And if I could, I would have flashed that little picture of the cat throwing up his arms and shit, because haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate, and I'm gonna continue to create. I'm gonna continue to piss people off. I'm gonna continue to move people. I'm gonna continue to put out good shit. So that's what's gonna happen. And that's another thing. You're gonna have to get used to criticism. I don't care what you do, how you do it. Somebody who is gonna have something to say, and they're gonna come off as if they are a fucking expert. And it's like, well, if it was me doing it, I would have did this. Really? Why you still live with your mama? I mean, seriously, you will get people who will become instant experts on what you do, how, and it's just going to go on and on and on. So, just want you to think, really, really think about what you want to write, how you want to write. And this is just a big old jumbo rant. I probably need to change the thumbnail and put rant in there, because this has been a really good week. It was a very good holiday. It was, I mean, the year's been pretty good overall, but I mean, this week there was a very monumental event that happened, and I was very happy at the outcome. I mean, it was like going into the store with $1 and finding out that everything's on. It was that kind of moment. I was like, "Woo! I can get a bunch." And it was amazing, and I just see more of that coming, and I just kind of feel the energy coming back, because if you notice, I haven't been putting out a lot of videos because, like I said, I've just been really working on the direction of what I wanted to do and the stuff. But yeah, I'm back. I ain't lose my mojo. The tank got a little empty, but it's filling up fast. So with that, hopefully you got something out of this rant. Hopefully, you pull some nuggets out of it. And let's see. Yeah, I'll just send Holly a link to this, and she can watch it and enjoy. All right, this is Glendon. I'll see you on the good side.